Welcome back to Madagascar Missions family. Today we're going to show you how to make peas and beef. It's one of the many rice dishes that we use here. It uses obviously peas and then onions, tomatoes, cilantro, spring onions, and a whole lot of spices. In this dish, we're going to be using around 2 pounds of meat, 4 medium onions, 2 small thumbs of ginger, 8 Roma tomatoes, a bunch of spring onions, 2 small bunches of cilantro, all chopped up into a pan and cooked together. Before moving to Madagascar, I didn't really use ginger a whole lot. Now I use it in quite a few things. If you've never worked with whole ginger before, it's a bit different. Just snap off any of the extra little fingers sticking out, and then it's pretty easy to just peel the skin right off. And then from there, you just chop it up. Here are the spices I'm using today. Normally I use fresh garlic, but I didn't have that on hand, so I just went ahead and used some powdered garlic. I'm adding about 2 teaspoons of powdered garlic, 2 tablespoons of masala, some fresh cracked black pepper, about a tablespoon of curry powder, and about a half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper. The peas boiling so they can get tender, and I'm just stirring up the beef and the spices and the onions and all of that. I'm going to add the chopped up tomatoes here. You can use canned tomatoes. I prefer the flavor of the fresh. The texture really won't matter because it's all going to kind of really cook down into the sauce. Normally I would add about twice this amount of chives, but I used what I had on hand. Fresh peas kind of take a while to cook, but these are finally done, so I'm straining them out, just giving them a quick rinse before I add them to the pan. You can use any type of rice with this. We prefer the basmati. So as you can see, I measure ever so carefully, as with most things. So I'm giving it a rinse. I usually rinse it out twice just to get all that starchiness out so it's nice and fluffy when it's done. As far as how much water I use, I always just use it up to the first knuckle of your first finger, and then that tends to be the perfect amount. So here I'm going to just make up some bouillon. I use the Tones beef bouillon because it's gluten-free. I actually bring it with me from the States because I can't typically find gluten-free bouillon here. So I'm going to use that same bowl with cold water now and some cornstarch, mix it up till it kind of looks like a milk type consistency, and I'll add that to the pot to make a nice thicker sauce. As you can see, the sauce is somewhat thick before you even add the cornstarch in it. I've cooked it the entire time that the rice has been cooking, and that way all the flavors have melded really well together. If you add your cornstarch and water mix, it's going to cook really quick. You're just going to stir it in so it doesn't get any lumps in it, and it will be done in just a second here. Here's the finished product, all nice and thick. Just sprinkling those chives on top. Like I said before, usually I would have a bit more, but it works. And here we have our finished product of the rice and beef and peas.